evening. Welcome. It's wonderful to be on Gino's spot.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Want a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino's spot on Tuesday night. Woo. Are we all still in lockdown? We're still locked down, yeah, to a certain degree. Nobody wants to go out anywhere. And so online is the only thing that you can do. So you may as well tune into Gino's spot. Awesome, Gino, going green and off the grid is our future. You are so right. Erica Fenter tonight, that is the theme. That's why I'm dressed in the science outfit. Science, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be going into solar, having to look at solar energy and going green, see what we can do to get off the grid. No, you know, it's almost not about not about getting green as much as just getting off Eskom, getting out of Eskom, because oh my goodness gracious, it's just ridiculous. And you know, with load shedding and the power outages and things, substations blowing up like blooming popcorn all over the place. It's like the South Africa is one big microwave and popping popcorn all the day. All the Eskom substations seem to be going up at once. So we hope that that we're going to get some insight tonight from Greg Blandford from Rubicon. Oh, it's gonna! I love it. I love this kind of thing. The science. That's why I've got my science outfit on. Check it out. Check it out. All right, so thank you very much for joining us, Gino's spot. We've got, of course, get yourselves a drink. Get yourself a little drink. Get yourself a glass of wine or a gin and tonic, preferably something from Fitch and Leeds, because they are our sponsor. Fitch and Leeds. How's it, Michelle Telford? How you doing? And of course, our other sponsor, Spa, we spent the day today with Spa. It's been fantastic. We went out with Reggie Charters and we met Lloyd. Lloyd we're going to have on the show as well. He's an amazing guy. He's made also going green. He's also he's looking at conservation side. So we're going to look at that. We had to look at some penguins. We saw some beautiful seals. And we saw some whales, and we saw some dolphins. We saw a whole lot of dolphins. It was amazing. The dolphins were absolutely awesome. And so we've had an amazing day today. There's been lots of sun and a little bit to drink afterwards, which is fantastic. Make sure you got yourself a nice little drink. Let's get yourself into a song. Give me something to sing. Come on, guys. Put in the comments. Hello, work from home, theatre from home. Indeed. Who would have ever thought that we would be able to do theatre from home? No way. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gino's spot. Get yourself something to drink and tell me what you're doing so that I can sing your comments. Indeed. Jose Pereira, the Porras are here. Woo! Last night when the Thompson came around, and Robert Taylor, he was around last night. That's right. Lots of fiction leads. Yeah, babe. I'll set you free. Awesome Gino gone green, because Erica Fenter said more. Michelle Telford cried more. In the midnight hour, babe, Michelle Kelly. Hello, Gino sitting at the pool on a stunning evening. More. All right, here we go. That's right, a little bit of 80s for you. We're going to 80s because I know Greg likes a bit of 80s too. Well done, Mark Telford. Rock on. That's the idol. I walk the wall for Mark Telford. 8,000 miles for you. Woo. I dry your tears of pain. 8 million times for you. Dry your hope for you, babe. For money to burn for you. Jepson, I see you, babe. Jeppo, he's got you here by me. Because in the midnight hour, she cried more. Subscribe to YouTube, pushing more. Push on the bell to get Gino's spot today. Now money to burn for you, babe. More. Come on, pretty baby. She want more. More. That's the last label. Oh yeah, pretty angel. She want more. More. Beep. I love that song. Don't you love the song? I love Billy Idol. He's aged so well. He's still doing. He's still going. He's out there, and he's still got the whole thing going on. Amazing. I love him. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, it is time, of course, for Gino's Spot, and the first thing we always do is we got Darren Fuller in to tell us what we should be watching for the week, and it's generally a bit of Christmas with a bit of horror included. Let's have a look. Darren Fuller. Hello, Darren Fuller's head.
Hallo, wie geht es Ihnen?
That's good. That is my outfit for the German scientist. What do you think?
Ich liebe dich.
Good.
I'm not German though. This evening though, I'm Jane Austen.
Jane Austen. Very nice. And I like the head, sort of the head's floating around. Come on, make your head float around a bit. Oh, look at that.
It wasn't my intention, but it's kind of like cheap effects.
Yes. No, you got to keep your hands down so that at least it looks, so you don't give away any of the, and you can't let your chair go out from behind you, otherwise it gives away the...
that is true.
Yes.
I look quite ghostly.
Yes. Lovely, Darren. Well, tell us what we should be watching. Tell us what we should be watching.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, obviously, as much as I love murder and horror and Stephen King, I love Jane Austen just as much. So, thus, my hair doesn't obviously usually look like this. And these earrings are supposed to be books. I mean, they're not fantastically convincing, and they're so heavy, I think I could concuss someone with them. But in any case, they're supposed to be books. So, hello, good evening. I'm accessorizing. There's wine in here, though. You can just see it. So anyway, guys, okay, so I absolutely adore Jane Austen. This is also a quote from Pride and Prejudice as well. So, for those of you who don't know, Jane Austen was born in 1775. She wrote 6 best-selling novels. She unfortunately died a spinster at 42. So we don't have everything in common. I haven't written 6 best-selling novels. But anyway, so Jane Austen had written 6 best-selling novels. So I'm going to go through them with you and all of the movie adaptations that follow them. So Mansfield Park. Mansfield Park is one of her earlier books. So Mansfield Park is not necessarily anyone's favorite. However, this particular version with my favorite, Billie Piper from Doctor Who. Mansfield Park is set in, essentially, okay, you have to realize this is a long time ago, guys. This is like the 18th century. So Fanny gets taken away from her poor family, gets set up with a rich family, and is essentially their cousin, but also essentially the help. However, she has huge crush on her cousin, first cousin, but like I said, it's the 18th century, and she grows up in this grand house where she essentially just has a crush on her cousin forever and ever, and basically it's actually quite a political novel. It actually looks at a lot of the things happening at the time that Jane Austen wasn't particularly happy with, but in any case, guys, it's a romance. Obviously, it's really lovely. It's a lovely story. And if you can look past the fact that they are first cousins, which you have to do if you love Jane Austen at the time, it's very sweet. There are a few versions of Mansfield Park, but yes, like I said, not necessarily my absolute fave. Emma is, I think, honestly my favorite. My dad introduced me to Emma when I was really young. It was one of the first books that I read. One of the first books, I mean, like after ABCs and that sort of thing. The first big books. So Emma is one of my absolute faves. So there are so many versions of Emma. So Emma is obviously Emma Woodhouse. She's been born in a very privileged household. She lives just with her dad because her mother passed away when she was quite young. She is essentially a snob, but she learns and she grows as a result of this. Well, not as a result of it, but it's a really lovely book, and Emma grows as a character, and Mr. Knightley is one of the best male characters ever. And I really love an unrequited love story. So versions of Emma, Gwyneth Paltrow is quite intensely popular. And this that just came out, it came out, I think, just last year. This is one of my absolute favorite versions as well. There's Kate Beckinsale Emma version. There's another one with Romola Garai. It's a mini series, which I also love. And the fact, I don't know if anyone knows this, but Clueless is a modern adaptation of Emma. So can you imagine? I mean, Paul Rudd is the modern day Mr. Knightley. So it's absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. So Emma is one of my favorites. It's one of my favorite books. Every version of Emma is fantastic. Then you get Northanger Abbey. Okay, so Northanger Abbey, I know that basically every girl probably thinks that they're Elizabeth Bennet and hopes that they are, but I will quite honestly admit that I am actually the character from Northanger Abbey, because essentially Northanger Abbey is about this overactive imagination girl who reads too many books, ends up in a lovely city, Henry Tilney is one of the best characters ever. But anyway, she ends up in this really, really crazy, dark, mysterious castle, and she believes it's haunted and there's murder. So basically, she is me. But Northanger Abbey is one of my favorite stories as well. Very good, very good. This has Felicity Jones in it. And then obviously our classic Pride and Prejudice. Everybody loves Pride and Prejudice. And one of the lesser known versions of Pride and Prejudice that you wouldn't know is actually no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Bridget Jones' Diary. Obviously your classic is Colin Firth and Jennifer Eel, which was, I think, the early 90s. I do own that, but I have mislaid it for the moment. Then your second most popular version, obviously Keira Knightley and Matthew McFadden. Absolutely lovely. If you don't know Pride and Prejudice, that's crazy, but Pride and Prejudice is obviously about a girl who's got prejudice and a guy who's got pride. Anyway, basically it's the different classes meeting in the middle, and it's just beautiful. Bridget Jones's Diary is a modern adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, and has Colin Firth as Mr. Darcy. I mean, that's just fantastic. And then Bride and Prejudice, obviously a Bollywood version. Bollywood, absolutely lovely. I absolutely adore this, and I mean, this has No Life Without Wife is one of the songs. It's fantastic. It's a musical, so that's fantastic. Then Sense and Sensibility. Sense and Sensibility is obviously about two sisters who, unfortunately, because back then obviously the fortune went away from women, we didn't get no fortune, so it went away to whatever male heir they could find in the family tree. So these two sisters, they lose their fortune and they end up having to find a really they say a crappy cottage by the sea, but it looks pretty nice to me. So and obviously both of them find true love by the end of the book, but don't trust anyone by the name of Willoughby. And Sense and Sensibility and from Prada to Nada. Those are so cute. Okay, and then last, guys, is Persuasion. Persuasion is not one of my favorites. Persuasion is essentially about a girl who meets a guy. She likes him, but the family doesn't. He goes off to become a sailor. He actually finds his fortune, and then the family's like, actually, we do like him. But it's 6 years later, and he's like, yeah, I don't know you. But of course, he does actually still love her. So that's the whole point of that book. So yes, guys, that is Jane Austen. And I don't accept Sanditon, because Sanditon is her last novel that she never finished. So I don't believe in it, because it's like the sequel to Gone to the Wind. If the author didn't write it, I don't believe in it. So that's me, the floating head
All
for
right.
tonight.
That was one of the best ever, Terry. I was
Thank you.
buying. I was buying that it thing. I was buying it for the first 3 seconds.
I know. I was like, I have to do this.
That was one of the best floating head watchings ever.
Thank you so much. I worked very hard on my floating head.
Brilliant. We must
Yeah.
bring her back. We must bring
I
her
shall.
back.
I shall.
Thank you, Terry. That was fantastic. All right, ciao,
Peace
ciao.
out.
Ciao,
Goodbye.
bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen. All right, that was Darren Fuller. That was great. I read that. So many Jane Austen. Makes me want to rush off and watch some Jane Austen now, or maybe listen to an audio book. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, of course, thank you to Fitch and Leeds, thank you to Spa, and I've even got my little thing, my little light back. See my little light. Whoa! See the little light? like that. And get yourself a drink ready, ladies and gentlemen, because it is time for us to swim into the world of solar. Indeed, Mr. Greg Blandford is on the way. Ta-da! Greg Blandford, welcome to Gino's Spot.
Hello, Gino. How you doing?
Very good, man. Very good. Have you got a drink there? Are you still at work, I believe? Oh,
Yeah, still slogging away.
You got a bit of coffee in there, or is it also? Is it like Darren Fuller's one with wine in it?
No, this is a cup of Gino.
Ah, nice. I like that. Oh, excellent. Greg, welcome to the show, man. I've been wanting to get you on for ages because I absolutely love the whole solar thing and getting energy from the sun and putting it in a battery and then saving money. That's what I like the most about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's good to be with you, and hi to everybody out there.
Yes, and we've got a nice little crowd out here. I see some of our peeps are in here. Carol Jacobs, all the way from East London, having a watch too. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you too. From Arena Resorts. She's always riding horses around that one, I think. And I see some porras in here. Jose Pereira's here with the dry lemon. Excellent. We got some drinks coming on here. And Mike Barwood says, oh, there we go. Great to be able to see you in the week green. Solar is very cool indeed. Mark Bodley, thank you so much. No, Mark's one of our every now and again he pops in and pops his little head in, and we say how's it. That's what most of the guys in Gino Spot do, I think. But Greg, tell us a little bit about Rubicon. Let's do it. If you can do a little overview, like a 1 minute overview of what what it is.
Yeah, sure. So we've been around as a company since 1986. Started by Mr. John Schnettler all those years ago in Sidwell in PE. The offices are still there. And yeah, we've grown into a company of about 530 people now. International company with offices in Europe, Central Africa, South Africa. And focused on technology products. So business to business. So not B2C, but business to business. And very dynamic, very interesting business to work for.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, it's just there's so much more new technology coming out and so much stuff happening. Like, and the current technology is improving all the time. So it's like we've got to keep your head around it. I mean, isn't it a bit overwhelming sometimes?
Yeah, it's one of those industries that's constantly in flex and motion. So you've got to keep up to speed with the latest technologies, etc. Batteries, solar, electric vehicles now, charging infrastructure. There's a whole heap of them.
It is, and it's just, I mean, obviously for the green thing as well, but not only that, it's got these a whole lot of things that turn me on. I love the money saving, I love the green, trying to get off the grid of, then it leads to your water that you can try and hook with somehow off the roof with and pump it in, and you're completely off the grid. Sustainable, sustainable living, isn't it what it's all about?
Yeah. I mean, the technology is getting to next level these days. With products like Powerwall, etc., and obviously a combination of solar and those batteries with your energy storage and your solar hot water geyser heating, etc. You can quite easily get off the grid these days, and that's what most people are looking for.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned the Powerwall there, because you guys are going to obviously ties with Tesla. We'll talk about the car just now, because we got a little clip for that just now. But I mean the Powerwalls and the whole Tesla system. Is it a system on its own? Can you buy little bits of it and use other parts in what you've got already? Can you add your Powerwall stuff to it?
Yeah, it's quite an interesting product. So it can either be used as an independent standalone product, so primarily just for backup purposes. But the ideal way to actually pair it for your home is with solar. So during the day, you would produce some solar energy. Some of that energy would go directly into your home, and then a portion of the energy would go into your battery for storage later. And you can discharge that battery during the evening and not use the grid. So the whole point is to use solar energy to its optimal, and then also have some battery in reserve for load shedding, etc.
Yes, that's the other thing that you have to have in the daytime, I suppose. But then in the daytime, you've got the solar. This is the thing. It's actually quite a complex. It's a complex. It's not just an easy peasy thing. Philippa says it's become an obsession in our home. She is talking about me there, just in case you don't know. It's a little bit of an obsession.
I think I know. I think I know this.
Yes. You see now, because now I've got. I mean, I've saved my money, and I've got I've got my panels, and so I think the trick of this whole thing is to try and get through the night with your power that you've saved in the day, and that's quite a difficult thing to do. But I mean, the stuff's there if you've got the money, obviously. But generally, a lot of people haven't got the money right now, especially.
Yeah. I mean, I think the easiest way to approach this is to firstly look at efficiencies in energy. So if you've got traditional lights at home, to change those out for LEDs firstly. So always look at the energy efficiencies before you install solar, because the cost per kilowatt hour, I don't want to get too technical now, this is why you've got your jacket on, but it's really to look at where you can save energy firstly, and then apply solar technology and backup systems, because as you say, the cost of installing solar versus doing those sort of
those
retrofits, cost-cutting measures is the right way to go.
So the first thing you got to do is to cut down everything in your house that you're doing, and I've done it by moaning at my kids. I do generally by moaning at them, because they use a lot of stuff, and so if you moan at your kids, it's good for sustainability.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's it.
Do you agree with
100%. 100%.
No, I've become a real a bit of a power saving maniac. So I'm watching the power all the time now, and I mean LED lights for sure, solar geyser, because your geyser is a hell of a thing. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, that's probably one of your big consumers in your home. That along with your oven and stove.
Yes.
Is the hot water heating.
How do you
so if you can go gas, on your oven and stove top, I mean, that's first prize.
Yeah. How's it, Nicholas? Nicholas Quinn. It's part of the family along the line there somewhere, the Quinlans. Indeed.
Yes, hi Nicholas.
Hello Nicholas, nice to see you there too. But yeah, it has become a bit of an obsession, and I see that the stove, and so if you can convert to gas, you do it.
100%. And this is the thing, Gino. I think you've experienced it. You just said to me you've become pretty much addicted to it, and you're like constantly watching what you're using and where you can save power, etc. And I think, I mean, I've spoken to many people, and they all have the same experience. Is as soon as you start installing solar, working with solar, looking at energy efficiency, especially in your home, it becomes an obsession. And the more people I speak to, they have exactly the same, sort of thought process. Reaction, 100%.
Yeah. So because you've got to keep that especially at night time, you've got to try and keep that power ebbing, just enough for your security lights and your stuff and things to go on, stuff that you don't need. I mean, turning off a fridge at 2 o'clock in the morning with a little timer to turn on again at 4, it's not going to hurt the fridge or the meat or anything, it's just that fridge is going to be running.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there are a couple of things you can do that are basic adjustments to save electricity, like putting your geyser on a timer. I mean, you literally don't have to have hot water all day. Most of the time this is pre-COVID, but you don't spend all your day using hot water. So, set your timer maybe 2 hours before you get home, so you got hot water for a shower or a bath. And the same in the morning, if you get up and have a bath in the morning or a shower in the morning, make sure you got hot water and adjust your timer for 4 o'clock. So your geyser only switches on at 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock, and again 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 6 in the evening. And that's all you need. And you can save a huge amount of electricity that way.
And it's also, you got to think about, okay, when your geyser switches on, you're switching it on at 4 o'clock, so it's still been, if you've got a solar geyser especially, you've got solar and because a lot of people get these solar geysers, which is heating up in the day, no problem, but then at night, obviously, your electricity switches on. So then you got to heat it from 4 o'clock when it's still warm, and so it won't use as much power to then heat it up until 6 or 8, and then you shower and get finished. And if you really want to shower at 12 o'clock, you got to have a cold shower, you bloody kids.
So precisely, I think for those that are fortunate enough to have a solar geyser at home, typically in winter, you just, as you say, you just got to get your temperature up to a specific comfortable level, and using minimal electricity. And then summertime, I don't know about you, but I switch my geyser completely off, so it runs completely off the sun. And in combination with the solar and the battery, I'm fortunate enough to say that I don't pay for electricity 9 months of the year.
Wow.
And for the other 3 months, I probably pay in the region of 150 Rand a month. So I'm saying almost 90% off the grid.
That's amazing, and it is nice that you can kind of be nearly off the grid. I mean, it's always at grid tied. Is that what grid tied is?
Yeah, so grid tied is connecting your solar system to the grid, and in some cases, like our municipality, do allow you to feed that electricity back into the municipal network, and you can then offset your usage. For instance, for whatever you produce and for whatever you consume, they get offset against each other, and they call that net metering. And in PE, that's allowed. A lot of people actually just don't know that. And especially for commercial customers, at this stage it's still 1-to-1. I know the municipality in Port Elizabeth are changing some of those parameters, but in general, more and more municipalities around South Africa are opening up to that whole format of feeding back into the grid and supporting the grid with solar.
Yes, that's you say 1-to-1, so literally everything that you produce, you can pump straight into the grid, and you'll get that back again at a later stage. Almost like having your own huge Eskom battery.
Correct. It's like, let's say you, for instance, just as an example, you produce 20 kilowatt or 20 units of electricity during the day with solar. You bank that. And then in the evening, when you need the electricity, you're putting it out of the grid. So, but they offset each other. So let's say you use the 20 at night, you would have a net zero figure or zero cost.
So you've got to have enough panels. You've got to have lots of panels. You got to have more panels. More, Greg. More.
That's your problem, Gino. I think you're addicted.
I've got to have more panels. And so Dylan Schletter saying, hello chaps, cappuccino, bring it on. Oh, we got it at the office. Very nice, Dylan, you're my new BFF. There we go, look at that.
Cappuccino.
Excellent, I love it, I love it. Great job, great. Beth Hector. Beth is a runner. She's a crazy runner as well.
Yes,
I was
hi,
up
Beth.
in. This is Mike Barwood's got a question. I was up in Tues, massive solar farms for mining industry. They supply power at night too. Something about huge salt vats. Do you know about that?
Yeah, so South Africa went through a round called the REAP program early on. So there was a mix of different technologies that were used at the time, and is still ongoing. So probably the most notable being solar PV, which is your traditional solar panels. But then they also
yes, we have
had.
to speak simply here, Greg. What's solar PV? Solar panels, those big black things you stick on your roof.
Yeah, just I know people often refer to solar PV, so you get solar PV and solar hot water as well. So the PV means photovoltaic, for those who don't know.
Yeah, it's not actually water flowing through the thing so that the sun heats the water directly. It's
correct.
It's turning it into electricity. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So now some of these solar arrays, like at Tues, they're about 3 or 4 square kilometers of solar panels mounted in the middle of nowhere, and supplying. So to give you an example, one solar field, which is roughly 75 to 80 megawatts, to give you an example, 300,000 solar panels per solar field. So that's sort of medium size. You still get in other places in the world 400 megawatt solar fields, which are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of solar panels in one spot. But I'm digressing. So the other technologies is wind technology. You see a lot of those windmills around. Wind turbines. We shouldn't call them windmills. And then the other one is concentrated solar. They call it CS for short. And that is using a combination of mirrors on a focused point, and then heats up a saline solution, a salt solution, which is stored in pipes and large vats, and that is then converted into electricity. That's a much more technical solution. That's correct. Okay. So that's a concentrated solar plant.
Dr. Evil would have come up with to blow up the moon.
Yeah, I mean the temperatures that the stuff gets to is incredible. So it's like in a molten form, it's pretty much melting salt, and then that heat that's generated is there throughout the night. So you can generate electricity at night, which you can't obviously do with solar, but you can do that with wind and concentrated saline solution.
I never thought of that. The wind can actually. It can do it all the time. As long as it's windy.
And this is what people also don't know is that wind energy is actually twice as efficient as solar, because obviously the turbine can spin at night, where solar switches off when the sun goes down.
It could be noisy for your neighbors though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't put one of those up in my backyard. Definitely.
It's like getting your own rooster.
Yeah. Now listen, those things are noisy. I don't know if you've stood under one of those wind turbines. It's a proper noise.
I haven't checked one of the big ones. I'm gonna stop off at J-Bay and just have a proper look. But they look absolutely massive. Those things, Lord.
Yeah, I think those. So those wind turbines along the way to Jeffreys, I think they're 3 megawatts each. That's a huge amount of power.
It's absolutely incredible. So that's wind turbine, and then that's PV stuff. So your solar, you're getting that power from the sun, basically, and you're not able, and don't have to buy it then from things. But now the other one is storing it. So and that's where the Tesla stuff comes in. I would presume then as well, is your storage, which is batteries. Batteries have always been that's been the biggest problem, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think over the last, I would say 15, 20 years, we've traditionally used lead battery technology. Unfortunately, it just doesn't last. And I mean, we've seen this battery. Now. Correct, that type of lead system. Those batteries are not designed for typically longer life usage. They are what they call flooded cell batteries. Don't want to get too technical, but Those are typically quite high maintenance, and they have got a longer lifespan. But ultimately, lithium-ion batteries are still the way to go, and the technology is constantly being developed, so getting better and better every year. But what's very, very interesting is the developments around electric vehicles and energy storage. So think of it this way, Gino. So your home, for instance, you've got solar panels on your roof, you've got some batteries in your garage, you've got the inverter. The next step for you is your electric car. And eventually what's going to happen is that electric car carries around a big battery pack. Now, typically, I think you've got, if I can remember correctly, it was 10 kilowatt hours of batteries.
Yes, I've got 4 of those nice lithium-ion batteries now, and so that'll give you 10 kilowatt hours. I don't know what that means even. Okay,
so just for everybody out there, 10 kilowatt hours is equivalent to 10 units of electricity on your prepaid meter. So it's 1 kilowatt of electricity usage over 10 hours, so that equals 10 kilowatt hours.
Okay, that makes sense. So on that when it comes up on the electricity meter, I know how that works because I can see it going.
When you see that blinking light,
bloop, bloop, yes, that blinked the light.
It's mesmerizing.
Get off those computers, kids.
So let's say your oven draws 1 kilowatt exactly, and you left it on for 10 hours. That's 10 kilowatt hours. So pretty simple. Okay. So getting back to the car. So for instance, the Tesla that I'm driving around in, this Model X, it's got a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack. So that's 10 times what you have in your home currently. Now think that battery. Unfair. So now imagine this: is that battery becomes the energy provider for your home. Okay. Now this is the next level. So this is where we're going as technology.
What happens when I go to the spa? Then it's like, okay, guys, cheers.
Okay, so no. Honestly, so you typically you use a fair amount of electricity between, let's say, 6 in the evening when you get home till 9 or 10 o'clock. So 3 to 4 hours, and you can set the discharge level of that battery. So, for instance, that car becomes your energy provider. And I'm not talking about this immediately. This is the technology that will eventually come, because batteries, unfortunately, for electric vehicles are still very expensive, and it doesn't make the usage case for that doesn't make sense right now. But it's around the corner. What is she saying?
Her father had an electric car back. It was a little bubble car. I don't know if you remember the little blue bubble car with 3-wheeler.
How do you remember that? Wasn't it a meshes? It was a meshes, I think.
His one was called a Heinkel. It's a Heinkel. Also, for the science, was Heinkel was the guy who built all the bombers in the war that blitzed London. Which is unfortunate, but he made very nice little bubble cars, and that was, I think, the only one in PE. It's at the Motor Museum now. We've stored it there. But he electrified that too. Yeah. That was early days, though. The battery was too big, basically, in those days.
It probably didn't get very far there.
Yeah, no, it didn't. You had to charge it. But now, okay, so they're talking about using that car battery then to power your house, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, if you think of this ecosystem and think of technology as part of your lifestyle going forward, so you own your own energy. So you're producing solar energy from the panels. The panels are then powering up your home. They're charging your battery, and in some cases, over the weekend, you'll have your car plugged into the system, and it will be charging your car. So everything is running off pure sunlight, and ultimately, from a sustainability point of view, that's what you want. You want to have as little dependence on the grid as possible.
Yes.
Yes. And eventually, that's where we're going. I mean, I could talk literally for hours on battery technology and where we're going, but
yes.
We're living in exciting times.
It is.
Even in South Africa, I mean, the rest of the world often sees technology before we do, and this is why, as Rubicon, we focus on bringing those technologies here, and this is why we bought the car here as well. So, to showcase what is actually out there, because I think South Africa literally lives in a bit of a bubble.
Yes.
And you bring something new, it's like everybody freaks out, and it's quite exciting to see.
Yes. Well, listen, we've got a little clip of the car. Let's have a quick quiz so we can see what we're talking about here with the Tesla.
All right, guys, the moment that we've all been waiting for. Greg, just look at this, the Tesla Model X. Pete, are you excited?
Oh, I'm very excited.
Little dance, yeah.
So yeah, this is the Tesla dance, or celebration mode as we like to call it.
Lovely. The automation is just any guy's dream, It really looks like those gull-wing doors are floppy. Like they.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, lovely.
No, it's funny. So funny story here, Gino, with that, with the car's doors flapping like that. I was driving down Cape Road a couple of weeks ago, and I see a bunch of bikers coming up in the opposite direction. And the guys actually took their hands off their handlebars and started flapping their wings like this. So that was pretty cool.
Vivian says it's a modern chitty bang bang. Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's very, obviously that is a little bit gimmicky, but
yes, of course.
I think the driving experience is next level.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I went for a ride with you, and I mean, it does like 0 to 100 in 2.8 seconds or something. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
it's under 3 seconds.
He got me here. We got in a little bit of open patch, and you got me by surprise. I honestly felt physically dizzy because I wasn't expecting it, and it pulls back at like 4 Gs or something ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first time I put it in, so it's got ludicrous mode, which is damn fast, and then there's ludicrous plus, which is insane. And I've tried that mode once before, and you literally lose. I would equate it to vertigo. It's the only.
You get tunnel vision kind of.
That's it, 100%.
Yeah, it's like being in that jet again. I went in Stu Davidson's jet once, and that did that to me. But absolutely incredible car, and obviously no sound. I mean, it must be a bit of a nightmare for pedestrians and things not hearing it coming up. Some of these cars have sounds. Does the Tesla have a sound or not?
It doesn't. It's completely quiet, and you actually creep up behind people. It's so funny sometimes. People get an absolute shock or a fright when you creep up behind them. But I think it's in Europe or US by law they've got to have some sort of a sound. Yes. And while it's creeping forward, it has to have a motor sound. So it actually plays over the loudspeakers. So the car actually has a external loudspeaker.
Speaker, yes, I've heard about that as well. Vivian says, "Can I win one if I guess the name of the song and artist?" That's the competition at the end, Viv. It's a case of Fitch and Leeds, which is kind of, you can sit on it and see where that takes you. Paul Morrick is out there. There's a Blandy legend. That's a part of that
EP Paul.
Bunch. That, eh?
Yeah, I remember. How's it, Paul? Yeah, nice to see you, man.
Wendy Thompson, love it, Vivian Showback. VP legends, legends. VP, we weren't that great with spelling anyway. It was fun. We didn't worry about that stuff. Have another drink there, Paul. Oh no! But that, I mean, because of the tech on that car, I mean, the security is amazing. You don't think you can steal that car? Yeah,
besides stealing the car, I think it's got a function called Sentry mode, and it records footage from its 8 cameras continuously. So it detects any movement, it starts recording. So back, front, side view, etc., etc. So anybody tries to tamper with it. Yeah.
If you're going to have a look at the Tesla, you're being filmed.
Yeah.
8 cameras.
Yeah. So listen, I encourage everybody to do some sort of a dance in front of the car or do something funny, because you'll probably end up on the internet. There's actually a channel. I don't know if you guys are interested to watch, but it's called Wham Bam Tesla Cam, and it's the funniest thing. It's an awesome channel. I'm also addicted to that, by the way.
Oh no! And I mean, so I mean, you can literally see on your phone. You can see at any time what's happening around your car. So there's no way he's going to take it. It doesn't work on keys or anything. I don't know. You stick a key in.
I've actually got the fob in front of me. Yeah, it's called a key fob. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Okay,
there we go.
yeah, there we go. That looks like a little car. Yes.
It's so this was the original clay design for the vehicle before they went into production. So they used it as and that little key has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons on it. You don't see it.
Wow. No, you got
so sort of it's next level technology, yeah. And you can control the vehicle from your phone.
Has it got a GPS for that little fob? Or
not for the fob. Not for the fob. No, I haven't lost it. But luckily, I've got 2 of those. But even if I lost the keys, I could still drive the car with my phone. It allows you to unlock the car. I can control the car fully with this vehicle, with this phone. Sorry. Yeah. But the interesting thing is, and again, I don't want to waffle on too much, but the interesting thing is it's got a function called summon mode, and you can literally summon the car from the other side of town, and it can fetch you.
No way. Even with the taxis.
I'm going to put a lot of people out of business, I think. But I think so. This is technology that is being developed. For electric vehicles. I think everybody knows about the full self-driving mode for Tesla vehicles. So this vehicle is equipped with that, but I don't want to necessarily test it in South Africa. A lot of our roads
I'd also
just don't have lines.
I think. But I think Gary's got the website. There we go. Wham Bam Tesla Cam. That's
an amazing thing to watch. I tell you. It's pretty cool. It's really cool.
My soul. It's other people crashing into them.
Yeah, and so this is actually quite interesting. Is we had the vehicle parked in front of the building as always. At our offices in Warmer, and there was an accident across the road from us, and the car recorded the entire incident, all 3 vehicles, and I gave the footage. I downloaded the footage to a USB drive and emailed all the people that were involved in the accident. So it's as I said, the technology is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it just changes your whole perspective on driving. I mean, if you're summoning your car across town, you can probably summon it to pick up your mom along the way. You know what I mean, or drop your kids at school.
Yeah. So Paul commented Night Rider. It's exactly like Night Rider, Paul.
Yes, Kit. It's Kit. Does that car do that ritual dance every time before you drive off?
No, thank goodness not. Thank goodness not.
No, that would be a bit of a thing. Battery power is the only way to go. And absolutely, or some sort of storage, like you say. So at the moment, we're looking at either pushing it into the grid or like this Tesla Powerwall. Though you guys are the only guys in South Africa that can do it, or there are 3 people that can do it. I think.
No, so we are Tesla's partner for sub-Saharan Africa. And you can only purchase the Powerwall through. Okay, so Tesla's got a what they call a certified installer network, and we supply the Powerwalls to those businesses who then install the Powerwalls on behalf of Tesla. So so we're their partner for sub-Saharan Africa for energy products, not for the vehicle.
That's such kudos. I mean, how did you get that right? How did you go up? Did you go across to Elon and hey, Elon, yeah, South Africa, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually quite a cool story. I don't know how much time you've got, but
Yeah.
anyway,
There's no rules, yeah, Greg.
So I think it was about 2014. I've been, with technology, you always want to keep ahead of the game, and just watching what Tesla was doing in the energy space at the time. And they were developing the Powerwall at that stage, and it was pretty much under wraps, and no one knew what was going on. And I decided to make contact with them via their website, just to ask some questions, etc. And I remember sitting there having a bite to eat at the desk, on the PC, and I pressed send with my inquiry. And normally with these websites, they'll give you a thank you very much. We received your request.
Automated.
Automated response. But nothing happened, so I just kept pressing the button, send. And I was eating lunch, you don't really care what's going on.
Yeah.
And literally that night, 7 o'clock in the evening, I get a call from California. The guy says, listen,
Stop mailing me, man. Jeez.
Yeah, you clogged my inbox, and yeah, the rest is history. We got chatting, flew to California, attended the launch of the Gigafactory, watched some SpaceX rockets take off at NASA. So the experience has been absolutely incredible. The guys are amazing. They are what they say they are. That Gigafactory is next level.
Really?
I don't know if anybody's ever visited there, but it is so huge. I mean, you can literally not fit the size of or understand the scale, but it's roughly, I think it was 330 or 350 jumbo jets can fit into that building. That's just it's absolutely amazing.
We've got space here at Gugge if you want to start something like that. Greg, we've got space out there. I'm sure they'll help you out. We got Denise van Heijsteen coming on quite soon as well. She's with the chamber. Maybe we can organize some Gugge stuff.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, so P is the center of the motor industry really for the country. A lot of the big players here, Volkswagen, Ford, etc. And it makes sense for us to have a battery factory in Port Elizabeth in the Cook area. And I know it's been in discussion, and I really hope that it does happen, because that would be, I mean, it would make sense. We've got the vehicle manufacturers here. It makes sense to build the batteries, to build the electric vehicles, etc. And this is the way
so
forward.
Encouraging. If you think about that, because of course it's like that, because we've always been a motor town. Now, why not electric vehicles? Why not? Are we ready for it? We've got all this infrastructure here. It's ready to go.
I agree, 100%.
Man, I see Gary's got some Gigafactory picture. Let's have a look. He's on the button today. There it is. Have a word. I don't know. It looks like a swimming pool. That
maybe an advert.
Oh yes. That's obviously whereabouts it is. It looks very nice place. There it is. There we
go.
That's a couple of rugby fields.
No, this place is absolutely huge.
Wow.
And I think at this, when we left, it was 29th of July, funny enough, 5 years ago, that we attended the launch with Elon Musk and JB Struble. And at that stage, there was only a portion of the building open, and we were allowed to do a guided tour through the facilities. And it was absolutely fascinating just to see, experience the thing live, to obviously see Elon Musk in person. That was quite interesting as well.
That's quite nice. So is he got any interest in South Africa? Does he hark back at all?
I've never spoken to the guy, but I'm pretty sure that he has got some allegiance. I know at some point he returned on safari and contracted malaria. So I don't know if his experiences have been that great.
We didn't give him much in return other than malaria.
Yeah, but I think
taking his tablets.
we'll always welcome him back. anytime.
Yes, of course, absolutely. And he's not taken the vaccine, I believe, as well. I believe.
Yeah, I don't know about
We've
that.
got to convince him. We've got to tell
Okay.
him. Just, please
Well, you
tell
can
from
convince
us,
him.
he must get
You're the
his
one wearing
jab.
you're the one wearing the white jacket. So I think
I
it's your
will
turn.
administrate it.
Yeah.
I have the administrator. That's fine. Oh man, but obviously you don't only do the the Tesla the Powerwall and stuff. The Tesla Powerwall is a basically battery, right? Right.
Correct. Correct.
Lots of little batteries, like little thousands of little cell phone batteries that form one big battery. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. So it's in a sort of a rectangular housing.
Okay.
It's roughly a meter by. I think it's about a meter by half a meter in size,
Yeah.
probably about 15 centimeters deep.
Okay, so it fits.
Yeah,
on the
I mean
wall
that's
like-
big enough. Yeah, and I mean that's enough power really to power the average size home. It holds 14 kilowatt hours of power,
Wow.
which in most cases is sufficient for a family-sized home. But you can stack up to 10 of them together to give you 140 kilowatt hours, which is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
in South Africa, yeah, I mean in South Africa, I think the biggest system we've done is to date, I think, is 6 for one home.
Okay.
Which is,
Six walls. So that's quite. That's a hang on a thing.
yeah.
I don't even going to try the maths, Gavin, Paul, Gavin, Morik. I'm going to try with your spelling and my maths. We won't do very well, Mike Chesa, there's Mike is of course Mike Coffee across the road from you guys there in Main Road Warmer. He's part of the Main Road Mile. Mike, hearing the awesome stuff from Greg. Tell him I want
how's
to
it,
come and
Mike?
look at the car.
Okay, cool.
Always-
Yeah, anytime.
He owns Mike Coffee. He makes amazing coffee there on that side of the road too. Mike.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're addicted to that coffee as well. It's
Yes.
in the proximity from our offices, literally a walk across the road and get yourself a good cup of coffee.
No, Mike is amazing. I met him when I did the barista competition, and he did the latte art, and he won the compo at that time. He was very good,
Oh wow!
and he's very popular in Warmer. We love him.
No,
Love him.
listen, the flat white there at Me Coffee is brilliant. Absolutely
So it's
brilliant.
great. It's great. All right, so you guys have got. I mean, it's the whole bang skaboodie, but I mean, you guys are you guys selling directly to the public, or you guys go through other companies to get like a wholesale?
Yeah, so we unfortunately don't sell directly to the public, but we work through the installer network, for instance, on the Tesla Powerwall. These guys are selected as companies and individuals by Tesla, and then they install the batteries for customers and solar systems, etc. So again, with solar panels, batteries, etc., we supply to other businesses who then install for you.
Okay, I know. I did a little ad for Insola the other day. I think they also do stuff too.
Yeah, we supply a lot to the installers in town. And you're welcome to contact us if you want some references. For installers or good
guys
installers.
to put it in as well. Because I just feel that the sooner you do it, the more money you're going to save.
Precisely, and I mean now makes perfect sense. I mean prices have gone up. Nurses just increased energy tariffs by 15%, and there's another increase coming the end of June next year. So literally 30%.
They call it nurser, hey? Nurser is supposed to be nurse you, but they actually grease you up and give it to you.
Yeah, no, listen, it's. I think, as you know, owning your own power is amazing. So if you can do it, if you can add it to your bond on your home, I encourage you to do it, because literally it's an investment into, firstly, your energy security is number one, and it adds value to your home.
You don't have any more load shedding. That's the one thing, you don't have load shedding.
Correct.
Also, you don't have the other stuff. I see Becky's is online. I was talking to Becky today because we were doing some work for the Spa virtual race. We're doing the virtual race. I hope you're going to enter as well, Greg. It's on the 4th of September. We've only got a couple more days left to actually enter until, I think 13 more, we've got 2 weeks left to enter. So Becky's there. She says, I'm with my daughters Sophia and Daniela. They're Tesla fans. These two little ones, they're little ones. and they are Tesla maniacs, apparently. Yeah. I think
Listen,
they might have even met you.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible because the biggest fans are definitely the kids, and I've been absolutely amazed. You know, we did an activation, a marketing activation at Walmer Park Shopping Centre a couple of months back, and the kids were putting their parents there and say, "Come take a look at this," and this is Elon's car, and you know, just the excitement around the technology, and I was quite surprised, to be honest. You know, that the parents, I mean, there were some parents that, what is this? What is this car? Oh, what is Tesla? I've never heard of Tesla. Like, what?
What? I
Yeah.
know. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's like, and hello to Sophia and Daniela. Nice to see you online as well. But I know that isn't it a marketing thing as well? It's fantastic. The kids bring their parents because the parents are often not interested or they just walk past, but then they actually have to have a look. You know.
Well, this is the whole point, is that firstly we want to do, you know, for this vehicle, we wanted to bring it in so that we could firstly showcase the technology, but then secondly is to showcase the other products aligned with this technology. So energy storage and solar. I mean, a lot of, I think a lot of members of public are skeptical because they've heard horror stories about solar and, you know, had bad experiences, etc. And they, you know, if you pick up a directory and say, well, how do I access solar for my home? I think that's the biggest challenge, is like, how do you know who the credible installers are? And this is the sort of role that we also fulfill in the industry, is that, you know, we can give advice, we can point you in the right direction and say, listen, out of the 2,000, we've got 2,000 installers on our database in South Africa. And we can say, literally, these are the guys that are the good guys. These are the guys you can trust and support you with your financial decision, because it is a financial decision for 25 years. I mean, you're investing in a product that's going to give you power for 25 years.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, that's true. And I mean, it's like these things are never simple. It's never a simple thing. You're like, okay, well, we're just going to stick that and that and that, and all your problems are solved. You've got to really look at it yourself, and you've got to be involved in the whole process. And so, talking to someone like you guys, or your suppliers and installers is essential. You've got to do your homework with this stuff as well, because you can buy rubbish and it's not gonna do you much good at all, and it's gonna waste your money.
Yeah, often, and this is the biggest issue in the industry, is that we often see guys, you know, because end users don't understand the technology that they're investing in, and often they don't understand the brands. So let's say they're quite happy to part with 200,000 Rand for a solar system, but they might be getting a system that's actually worth 50,000 Rand. And this is the biggest problem in the industry, is that, you know, you get what you pay for. Like, for instance, a Powerwall system with solar panels, let's say for argument's sake, 250,000 Rand. That's the premium. It's a premium package. But it adds so much value to your home. You put something like that, an asset like that on your roof,
your property.
It gets sold as an asset, as a part of your home. It adds the 250,000 Rand to your home. And in today's
solar, you're like, woohoo! Okay,
yeah, I mean, in today's world, it's completely relevant. That's exactly what you want. You know, give your kids energy security. Like, when there's load shedding, how are they going to do their homework? Etc. etc.
You don't want to be the parent that doesn't give their children homework time.
No.
Well,
or YouTube time, or Wi-Fi.
Yes, well, that I can do. Because those computers, what's it, 600 watts, 600 volts? Well, I don't know, 600 somethings watts. Those computers?
Easily 600 watts.
On those little flipping transformers, I've seen them. They're big, heavy things. Oops, I didn't know about the cameras on the Tesla car. There was a lot of walking around and drooling when my son checked it out after pointing it out to me. Yes, we saw you, Beth. We saw you.
So what I try and do is I try and go through some of the footage just for interest's sake on the weekends, because I have to clear the memory and then reformat the drive and put it in. And there's some really, really funny interactions with the vehicle.
That's good. That's another extra thing for you to do instead of listening to your podcast on Sunday night.
Yeah.
That's Classic. All right. So, I mean, and I mean, as far as the company goes, it's. I mean, this is like blue sky for you guys. I'm sure it must be expanding at a rapid rate.
Yeah, so I mean, as far as Rubicon's concerned, we've got an office in Nairobi, Kenya. We've opened up a satellite office in London, and we're looking to expand into Eastern Europe as well. And then South Africa, we've got offices in Cape Town, Johannesburg, East London, Port Elizabeth, Durban, and Mpumalanga as well. So we're able to service the entire region. And sorry, Namibia. I don't know if I mentioned Namibia. But yeah, we've expanded, and we still continue to expand into emerging markets. So eventually, we might even look at South America or other places around the world.
Okay, wow, that's incredible. All the way from PE, Greg Blandford. That's fantastic. We love you for that. We love you. Bring all the money back here. Sophia reckons she can teach Greg some cool tricks on the Tesla. She says she can teach you some tricks.
Okay, cool.
There's lots of people that want this car. In fact, you can get it if it gets stolen, though, Greg. Some advice: if it does get stolen, someone tries to steal it, then you can always go and check the Cash Crusaders and see if it's there. If they can find
there's actually quite
pouch.
There's actually quite a yeah. I saw that. What's pretty cool is I don't know if you know about this function, but on the app on your phone, you can control the speed of the car. So I can set the limit of the speed to like 20 k's an hour, and so anybody trying to drive it as a getaway car got some limitations. Yeah.
That'll be lovely. You're trying to go. It's like that movie with the slug that tries to, I can't remember the name of the movie with the animated movie with the slug. Zoo Land or Zoo something. I
can't remember it either.
I
know what you're talking about.
And he tries to go, but he can't.
I remember the one. I just can't remember the name.
Oh no! So it's very much a James Bond vehicle, you know. Very much, very much like a vibe. It's great, and it's clearly a great marketing exercise as well. Fantastic. And there we go. Joe Wendy says, Cash Crusaders. If it gets stolen, play the music and it'll dance back. Says Wendy. That's very nice indeed.
The one thing I must, which is pretty cool as well, is this. It's got artificial intelligence built into the vehicle, so it's almost intuitive. I mean, it learns your habits. So, my garage is a bit narrow, and I've got a lot of bicycles stacked in there. And to get into the garage, I need to fold the mirrors. So it's got this electronic fold function, and you can then drive the vehicle in. But I kept doing this day after day after day, and I get a bit irritated with it. But eventually, it becomes a habit. And then the one day out of the blue, on the screen it says fold mirrors at this location. It's like random. And literally every time now I pull into the driveway, the mirrors fold automatically. It's just, and then as soon as I pull out the driveway, they unfold. So it's
unfold. How close does it go? Because the GPS must get it to a fine thing. I mean, GPS, when I look on Google, it gets to like, what did you see, 13 meters and 10 meters and 8 meters. Yeah. You wonder how close it can actually get eventually. You know, I'm sure it's going to get to the point where it'll be literally 5 meters before your garage.
Listen, it's damn close. I drive through the gate, and as it goes through the gate, the mirrors fold. So the accuracy is pretty good.
I love it. I mean, I'm automating my entire house. You can get all sorts of things. Your light switches now. You can just get a light switch that changes it into a Wi-Fi light switch. You just pull out your old light switch that you got, and you stick in this one, and it's all of a sudden it's Wi-Fi. I just love it. I mean, when you drive in your thing, I've programmed my thing as well to when I arrive at my front gate, then I open the door, open the gate, then the garage door also opens, and it switches on the lights in the inside. It's incredible. You can automate your life.
Yeah. As I say, it's an exciting time to be alive, and if you know about all the gadgets and things that are out there, actually one of my nicknames used to be Gadget Gregory, and I used to love technology and getting involved with technology, and I love the excitement because I mean I can see you're incredibly excited about technology as well. So
Yeah, those little
amazing
batteries
to
now
see.
that I've got these. I've spent some money on those batteries, and they're working at night time now. I can check. But now my kids are using electricity at night, and then with Gino Spot we use all these LEDs. They're all like using lights, man. I've got LEDs. We've got to get away with less lights here. You might have Gino Spot in the dark next week.
Yeah, at least you got backup power.
Absolutely, we got totally. We've got and it was kind of from that as well. We've had a couple of load shedding moments in the show, and now we don't have to worry about it. It's really been great. But Greg, we're going to get into what we call a getting to know you session now. This is to get to know Greg Blandford away from this Tesla car that everybody talks about all the time. We want other stuff to talk about here. Let's have a look. Get in.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
How do you?
So I think this is the time to get nervous.
No. I'm not a gangster, you know. No, we just like to get to know you. So, I mean, the most spontaneous thing that you've ever done, what would you say? Have you got one?
I think when Dylan and I were students, we often used to skip lectures at university, and the one day we saw the waves out at Kings Beach, and we thought, yes, to get out there today would be, today would be awesome. But we only had our boogie boards and we had no costume, so we decided to just strip then and there and ran into the sea. There was nobody around. That was pretty awesome. We had an awesome day. So that was pretty spontaneous. That was pretty spontaneous.
That's pretty spontaneous. Yes, it is.
So that was boogie boarding in your underwear.
I thought you said naked. That would have been...
No, not naked.
Oh, yeah. Not letting that propeller out. Okay, good.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
The hardest that you've ever worked?
This is interesting. I think when I joined Rubicon in 1995, it's a long time ago. The business was small. There was only four of us. I was number 4. So Dylan, myself, his dad, and Miley, and we were sort of doing everything there. So it was from cleaning the toilet, sweeping the steps of the business, weeding, making tea, making coffee for the boss. And I think that's been the proving ground is really working your way up from the very, very bottom. Being humble.
Know the whole system as well. That's very important in a business, don't you think? I mean,
correct. So now, what the great thing is, Gino, is that you can interact with anybody within the company and at any level and say, listen, I've been there, I've done that. And I think that's what's key.
Yeah. It's amazing. And it's so good that because everybody needs to have that time. You got to pay your dues.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah. and you thought you were the boss now, so now you got to, because now you're doing all this.
So, one of the bosses.
Are you one of the bosses? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Not the boss, but the boss plus.
That's it.
All right. Let's see. I've got you the fastest speed you've ever driven in a car. How fast can that thing go? It must be the Tesla.
Yeah, listen, so
on the airport, obviously on the airport test road. That's the road, obviously.
Yes. So I've been, okay, let me just think now. So I've been on the test track at the VW test facilities out at Uitenhage, and got the vehicle up to about 200 k's an hour.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, you don't feel the speed. So that's one. And then secondly, interesting story. One of our customers used to build these. What are they called? The quarter mile cars, those things that accelerate to the hell of a speed.
Oh, holy crap.
So he came to me the one day and he says, listen, Greg, don't you want to go for a quick spin and I'll take you around the block? And this is just outside of Uitenhage. So I looked at this car and I thought, oh, hell, this is going to be interesting. And he got onto a straight road and he put foot. And I swear I've never felt that feeling before. It's proper tunnel vision and the feeling that you're going to die. It was that bad.
Well done.
Because this car. Yeah, no, listen, and on a narrow road, it makes it even worse. So I think that was quite an experience.
Well, you should have known it was Utnake, you know what I mean? the oak's gonna have a go.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh no. Is there anything you wish you'd known when you started out that you know now?
Yeah, I think for me it's how big the renewable energy business would be globally, you know, because back in the day, solar's pricing is reduced by probably 80% over the last, I would say, 20 years. So it's become so affordable now, and the prices. You always think that you sort of bottom ended out, you know, as a package, but you know we continue to still see the pricing come down, specifically on batteries. So over the next 5 years, you'll still see battery prices come down, and overall the package will still become even cheaper and more affordable for people.
Well, I'll just add to my batteries. I'll just add to them now.
Good idea. Good idea.
All right. Your biggest mentor or role model of the time?
Yeah, Gino. So that I think it's a combination of the various interactions that I've had with people. I wouldn't pin it down to one specific person, because in my line of work I deal with people on a daily basis, from super high level people, you know, in the solar industry all around the world, and you glean snippets of information from them, or ideas or concepts, etc., and you apply that to your own life. And I think that's what's key. But I think for me it's been a bit of a mix of a lot of different people over the years.
It normally is, except your wife, of course. That one is the biggest one always, because you have to say that.
Sure.
Yes,
100%. I agree.
the biggest learning experience that you experienced. You know, there was an acceleration at one point. I think for me, this is actually quite funny. I think that for me it was leaving school and then going to the army. I mean, I think we were the second last intake, 1991, and that 1 year accelerated my maturity to, you know, in literally that 1 year. And I think it's something that's actually missing in our youth today is you know, some sort of, you know, take you out of your comfort zone, throw you into the deep end, and this is the real world. And I think that for me was the biggest learning experience. Survive on your own.
Precisely, and just see what the world's actually like, you know, outside of your home.
Yes, and have to deal with other people that you may not get along with.
Waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, do a 10K run, and then only eat breakfast at 11 o'clock.
You know, some people do that on purpose.
No, they're crazy. They're properly insane.
Do you have any phobias or any strange things? I've had a lot of people that are scared of heights. I don't know why. So many people scared of heights.
So I am also a bit scared of heights. Got a phobia for spiders and heights, and
spiders.
I know that our guys within the organization are aware of my fear of heights, so they challenge me every year to something, you know. And it's always based on sales targets and numbers. So I'll say I'll put a target in place that's a little bit outside of the sort of borderline. And funny enough, these guys always hit those targets. And the last one was to jump out of an airplane in Borat's costume. I don't know if you're.
Yes.
That hasn't happened yet. The mankini. So that hasn't happened yet, fortunately.
Oh no, that's terrible. There's Gary's got something for you. There we go. Ta-da!
Yeah, no. Don't enjoy that.
No. That's a robotic one though. It's like a mixture of your loves and your focus. You know?
That's horror movie,
but it's interesting at the same time.
That's it.
The middle part of the thing is actually a battery. Oh no, we're trying to help you with your phobias. See, that's what we try and do here. All right, the dumbest thing you've ever done, or the thing that you think, why did I do that?
Yeah, I think this goes back to the childhood days. There's two things.
Yeah.
So one was, I think every kid has done this. Is jumped into the swimming pool from your home's roof, and we used to challenge. So we used to challenge each other to jump into the pool, and eventually it got down to, let's see who can jump into the shallow end from the roof. I mean, that was really stupid. And then the other one was, this all happened in the 80s, and the 80s was an insane time. But you could pretty much do anything. But then the other thing was, we found out how to make chlorine bombs, and started experimenting with different mixtures of chlorine bombs. And we came up with a concoction in a peanut butter bottle, and filled the bottle with chlorine. We put a layer of, okay, I'm giving you the recipe now, so if there are any kids online, just block your ears.
Block your ears.
Yeah.
What's up, Greg Ritz?
Yeah, so you put the chlorine down, you put a layer of either salt or sugar, and then it's like the wick, and then you throw your vinegar in and close the lid and run. But at the time, we didn't realize that would be the concoction. So we put it in one of these vanilla essence bottles, and we shook it and threw it. And literally like 5 meters away, we're standing staring at this bottle, and all of a sudden this thing explodes. Like, it was a hell of a thing. Glass everywhere. We actually found a piece of that bottle on the other side of the house. That's how dangerous it was at the time.
Terrible. Kids, we do such stupid things. You just reminded me of something. I'm not even going to bring it up because it's just
okay. I just hope there are no kids online.
Yeah, no. We don't want. We rather don't try this at home, kids.
Don't try this at home.
Chlorine bombs. Good Lord, man, that is insane. Oh no, the coldest that you've ever been.
So back in '95, I went up to the US, backpacked the US from New York down to Florida, Chicago, Denver, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, all over the place. And en route, we stopped in Seattle and climbed Mount Rainier. And at the time, it was pretty cold. I think it got down to like minus 20. So yeah, it was quite an experience.
That is cold. I've experienced that kind of cold as well. It's especially if it starts to get a bit windy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of cold, to be honest.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, how's your life turned out differently than you imagined when you started?
Okay. Also another interesting story. So when I returned from the army, and you know Dylan Schnettler, I think a couple of people online here that know Dylan.
Dylan Schnettler as well. I'm sure I know him. I don't know. Somebody tag him.
Yeah. So he's either famous or infamous. But at the time, I got back from the army and was planning to study information technology.
Okay.
And Dylan picked up the phone one day and he said, the old telephones, no cell phones in those days. And he picked up the phone and said, "Hey Greg, what are you doing? What are you studying?" And he said, "No." I said to him, "No, information technology." And he said, "No, you're crazy, you're absolutely insane. You must never do that." He said, "I promise you the best thing you can do is study marketing and sales. It's the best thing ever." And literally after I put that phone down, I enlisted for marketing and sales. And the rest is history. The rest is history.
Well, it certainly did help. It certainly did. Oh, there we go. Denzel Utes and a bit of both, Greg. Dylan Schnettler, there we go. Thank you, Jean-Andre. He's part of this conversation. That's certainly a time when these little things, little decisions. I mean, Dylan probably thought, he's going to tell him straight. Oh no, don't do that. and it actually had a major impact.
Yeah, I mean, I must tell you one story that so I can see Dylan is online. So this happened back in the army. So I don't know if you know, but once you're in the army, in those days you get letters sent by your girlfriend, and I was on the phone with Dylan the one day, and I said, yeah, Dylan, yes, it's so funny is when these guys get letters, they have to do push-ups and run around before they can get their letter. And it's Tues Bob. Dylan gets his sister to decorate the most elaborate envelope I've ever seen in my life. So he colored this thing, got this thing colored in hearts and sprayed perfume, and you could smell it a mile away. And I mean, I wasn't expecting letters. I mean, we just didn't get letters. Yeah. And the corporal pulls out this letter, and he looks at this thing, and he in amazement, and he said, "No, this is the first time he's received a letter like this." I won't mention the swear words that came out of his mouth, but I ended up doing about 100 push-ups and running around like a mad thing, and that was the last time I shared information with Dylan. Yes. He's a proper prankster.
Yeah, I see that. Gary is having actually a coronary attack. He's laughing so much here. That's just right up his alley. That kind of flippin', that kind of horrible joking.
Listen, Dylan's quite a naughty bugger.
Oh, I see. He's talking cuck about you already. Oh no. And it's nice to have your mates on board. So share it. Please share this link so that all Greg's mates can come in and ask him some questions that he might not want to answer. Here we go. Let's see. The most embarrassing story from your childhood? I'll probably jump in the shallow end of the pool, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's probably funny enough, there weren't that many embarrassing moments, but I think it's okay. Well, let me mention this one, but I won't mention too much about it.
You're quite good with stories.
Because it's embarrassing.
I've got to give it to you.
all I'm saying is black bag party. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Enough said.
I've got a feeling it was like surfing at fence with your boogie boards as well.
Something like that.
Sounds very similar in certain ways.
Yeah.
The biggest realization that you had about yourself, about your own personality.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well, I think in my younger years, I was very, very shy as a person.
Okay.
At school, very much kept to myself, and I realized that everybody's the same, really. I mean, you are a lot different.
I don't know. I wasn't like that. But I wasn't that at school. I don't think. I mean, you knew me at school as well. I wasn't that out there.
No.
I was quite the socialite.
Yeah. So I think the same for me. I was a lot more reserved in my younger days.
Yeah. Okay. You have any quirks though? In that same vein, you have any quirks? Like what would be the most irritating thing about having you as a roommate?
Okay. So I like collecting things. I collect bicycles, which is a bit of an odd one. So I think keeping
big things. It must be a big place. I think you're going to need that bloody, what's it called, the giggle factory for your bicycles.
Yeah, and I think my wife can also attest to my cap collection. I've got quite a lot of golf caps in my cupboard.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you collect? Do you like the braid things?
I think those are the only things.
I don't know. You have a lot of the same caps with different branding on.
Listen, I get given caps for birthday presents and things like that. I've probably got about 30 of them in the cupboard already.
Okay. No, well, your hair's doing well. It's fine. You don't need to.
Yeah, I know. I'm not bald yet, so trying to conserve what I've got left.
Dylan's saying get Linda on the show. Here we go.
No, that's dangerous.
Yeah, no, I get that. But your wife taught at Elson for a while, which was at Elson for a while. She was working there, which is that's. I met her before. I did know you as well, but I didn't realize you were actually linked up at that time. So she's clearly got a very good heart, and she must have had to put up with a lot of cuck from you as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll definitely give her that.
Okay. Okay. is there any mystery that you wish you knew the answer to?
Oh yes, definitely. Area 51.
Oh.
I've been asking that question for many, many years.
Oh,
So,
are you a bit of a like thing? You like because
Listen.
those stories. Greg is a
Yeah.
spendthrift. Oh, he doesn't like to spend money. Oh, yeah, but if a spendthrift by spendthrift, I think you mean he doesn't. He's like a bit of a miser, really. I suppose you're saying.
no, I don't think so. I think my bicycle collection can attest to that.
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. Here we go, Morris Lazarus. Come and fetch your mole cap.
Thanks, Morris. I must get one from you.
Is he
Morris
got-
is also a keen golfer.
Oh right, okay. I'm enjoying my golf as well these days. Just a bit of golf. Very nice. It's a nice sport. You can see those courses are beautiful. You walk out and it's like, hey. So it lets you relax a bit.
Yeah, no, I've every Saturday try and spend a bit of time at the links. It's
Okay.
the best way to get rid of stress.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. It can be more stressful sometimes at the links. Getting in the that's long grass. That.
Yeah, actually, this watch that I've got, this Garmin, it actually gives you your stress level, and often the stress levels are higher after the golf than before the golf. So I don't know how much stress it actually relieves.
Oh man, I still want to check my stress levels when I'm doing a show. I want to see what happens. No. Okay, the one thing you want but you can't afford yet.
I think, I know what this would be. The new Tesla Roadster. I think that would be a dream if I could get one of those.
Collecting Teslas.
Yeah, I think, I don't know if you've got a picture of that, but that
Gary
thing's
can
an-
find a. I'm sure Gary can have a look for one. It's a Roadster.
I think
It's
it-
obviously the
the new
sports
the new
version.
Roadster, it's a 2022 or 2023 model, but
Wow. Okay.
it does 0 to 100 in I think 1.1 seconds.
What? Yes, that is insane. Obviously, this car it checks when it doesn't wheel spin, nothing. It just everything
Nothing.
is perfectly as much power as possible to the wheels on the ground without spinning the wheels, without doing no wastage.
Correct.
the whole thing.
Yeah, it's from absolutely no. Basically, the efficiencies in that thing are insane, and the torque. I mean,
Jeez,
I would only go in as a passenger. I don't know if I could drive that thing in that sort of speed.
let's have a quick squiz. There we go. Look at that. Woo! Oh, that looks
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's
eh?
it. Yeah, that's the
Wow,
one.
2023. That is a sure.
And listen,
Yes,
Gina,
you
only need a spare $200,000 for one of those.
Ja, so hè. Jy het seker Weber carbs daar binne hè. En hy het soos 'n big six engine wat is 'n 6-silinder daai. En die suspensie is bietjie gedrop daar. Ek gesien ja. Die rewe dakkie, waar is die dak? Yo, that is such a beauty. Man, I tell you
Yeah,
what.
yeah, that's
Lovely.
beautiful.
So we'll expect it soon, you know. It's marketing. It's for marketing, Greg. It's for marketing.
I think we'll make a plan there, Gino.
Okay. And have you got any scars? And which scar of yours has the best story?
Yeah, it's probably quite a gross story. So we used to play. We had in the 80s. We had one of these porta swimming pools, you know, with a wire
porta pool.
measure on it. One of those porta pools.
Yes.
And I think I was about 10 years old. So there's two bad stories I'm going to give you now. So the one was we were learning how to dive into this pool, run and jump and dive into the pool. And
Yes.
I was stepping backwards. And as I stood backwards, I put my foot into the drain pipe. You know, in the old days that they didn't
round
have, the round ones, but it
Like the
it
ones
was
you played
metal.
marbles in.
Yeah, it's the metal one, the metal one. And as I put my whole back of the foot in the back of that thing, and it was about 30 stitches after that. And then the other bad one was, I mean, this is the 80s. This is classic 80s. We were playing in the bush, playing soccer, and ball rolled into the bush. So I ran into the bush, brought the ball out, and everybody's faces went pale white. And I looked down, and my foot was in half. So literally, I stood on in those days they had milk bottles, and somebody had thrown a broken milk bottle into the bush and sliced my foot right down to the bone.
Oh, crap, man, you're going to make me start feeling queasy here.
That's why you've got the doctor's jacket.
Oh, yes, this is the doctor's jacket. I will medicate myself.
Yeah, but that was quite hard. That was quite hardcore.
That is so 80s. That is proper 80s. All right, Greg. Well, we're going to get into some quick questions now. Let's see. We've got the quick question section, and then we'll head into. We've got the. There we go. The quick quiz. I always like these ones. Rapid fire. So, what was your first album you ever bought? I love that question.
U2, the Joshua Tree.
Woo! U2 Joshua Tree were the best albums ever.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Amazing.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
U2's seminal album. I mean, that was the big one. The Streets of No Name. It's got the whole bunch on there. Pride. I think it's an amazing album. Amazing album.
Yeah.
If it was it still haven't found what I'm looking for, isn't it? That on there as well.
Yeah.
And
Streets of No Name.
With or without you. I mean, that's
One
like,
Tree Hill.
Amazing.
One Tree Hill. There was quite a few. I mean, they're all brilliant songs.
Yeah, they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right. A talent that you have, which people may be surprised to hear about.
I'm a bonsai artist.
Bonsai? You mean little trees?
That's it. I've been doing bonsai since 95. So I've been doing it for a number of years. I've got quite a big collection.
22-year-old starts and makes bonsai.
It's again funny, interesting story is that I think every kid watched the Karate Kid and saw Mr. Miyagi fiddling with those bonsai trees. So now that's another one of my nicknames is Mr. Miyagi.
Okay. Do you do martial arts and stuff as well?
No, I did karate, funny enough, in the 80s.
Karate.
Not anymore.
Okay. Did you get murdered a few times?
Properly.
Oh my word. Okay, what would you say is your biggest strength?
I think I'm not easily angered, so I'm a very calm person. I think that's probably one of my strengths.
Could be your biggest weakness. So
Yeah.
I'm the same, so I know you're.
Yeah.
It's
Like you're stealing my car, just hold on a second.
Yeah, just hang on. Hey,
Yeah.
that's not right.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, there we go. I get it. What's your pet peeve?
Slow golf players. So on the golf course, probably one of the things I hate the most is playing behind guys that are playing slowly in front of us. That's my pet peeve by a long shot.
Oh, that sounds very, very. Yes, it doesn't sound like you've got a lot of patience at all.
Yeah, only for that.
What's playing heavily on your music playlist right now?
You're gonna laugh. 80s.
Oh yeah, I'm there. No,
Like
I'm there with you.
proper mixture of everything.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Depeche Mode, Simple Minds, U2, Yazoo,
Yes.
INXS,
Yeah, lovely.
AC/DC,
Yes. Always.
Metallica, bit of everything.
Nice. I like it. What's your guilty pleasure? What do you?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. That's true. It's true. Any city that you've dreamed of traveling to?
I still want to visit Omiya. Yeah, it's Omiya in Japan. So that's
Japan.
That's the center of the bonsai art form in the world.
Oh, so you're into this
So all
bonsai,
the-
eh?
So into the bonsai, I mean, if you had to see some of the pictures of that place, it's absolutely beautiful. And I've been to a lot of places around the world, and that's one of the cities that I'd still like to visit at some stage.
Wow.
But travel to
Oh,
Japan
I love
is
that, Greg. That is such a good thing. I absolutely love that. You've got to have interests, you know. What is Gary's put up a question. What is it about small things that you relate to? Is it like the little thing?
I think it's because I'm tall, so I relate to small things.
Oh no, we can't get into foot size and that sort of thing. That's no.
No. It's under the belt.
Family
Under the
show.
belt. Yes.
All right. Have you got a most nostalgic memory? I'm a big nostalgic guy. I love it.
Yeah, nostalgia.
Yeah. Music is nostalgic, guys. I've always found myself in a spot with music. I hear a song.
Yeah, I know. I think, and this is the thing about music is it takes you back, especially to your sort of teen years, you know.
Yes.
So I think when was it when U2 was down in South Africa with their 360-degree tour?
Yes.
You know that playlist that they sang took me back.
Amazing.
Obviously that was amazing. It was really.
I
really
love
good.
that. Were you in Cape Town or Joburg?
Cape Town.
Okay, I was there. I was there with you, Greg.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. I didn't see
loved
you.
I know. We should have seen each other. You know, there was only like 180 million people.
Yeah, and I was pretty
COVID.
deaf after that experience as well.
It was hectic. It was hectic. Okay. Any things you like to cook, or are you good at cooking?
I'm excellent at cooking,
Oh,
especially Italian food.
Even
And
if
I know
say
you
so
also like
yourself.
Italian food.
I love my Italian food. You can
Yeah.
come to have some pasta. I will show you a little bit of pasta. No, I love that. So cooking good.
Yeah, all good.
What about the opposite sex confuses you the most? This is one for Linda to answer as well.
Yeah, no, this is this is a topic now that I'm treading on dangerous territory.
Of course.
I think I'll skip that one, Gino.
Okay. No, we're gonna skip. I'm protecting your marriage as well. It's fine.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks.
All right. And where are you your happiest?
You're gonna laugh now, but funny enough, it's at work. I actually enjoy being at work because of I think it's the excitement of being involved with technology on a day-to-day basis, interacting with people all day long. You leave work satisfied, and I think there are very few people in the world that will say to you, "Listen, I love my job," and this is one of the. I must say, I really enjoy what I do.
Well, I've got to say that I think that you're right. You're right that if you look worldwide, but I think in South Africa at the moment, we are having to be entrepreneurs, and we're forced into it. And I think a lot of people are with the entrepreneurial thinking, they're enjoying what they're doing, but because they've got no other choice. They've got to their corporate things are not working same as they used to. The government jobs are not working as they used to. We have to do stuff, and there's one advantage to that, is that a lot of people are doing stuff that they want to do.
Precisely, and I think obviously COVID's a big issue over the last 2 years, and it's forced people into doing things out of the ordinary.
Yes.
Spending time at home. Firstly, the people that have spent time at home have spent more time with their kids, so it's brought families closer together. It's obviously also, like entrepreneurial skills, that people are coming up with new ideas, etc. So, I think you're always going to look into, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. It's the same scenario with COVID.
Yes.
What can I do better, and how can I make the world a better place for everybody? I think that's the question to be asked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that you're giving me a lot of pleasure with this stuff, with my batteries and my solar panels. I'm getting a lot of pleasure from them.
Yeah. No, as I say, I honestly believe, that I know everybody's sort of down by the situation in COVID, and literally, if you can give something back and be involved in some sort of a skill that gives back, then all
makes
better.
you happy as well. Something that makes you happy. Something just like your bonsai, your collections, your hobbies. Do that stuff, man. You're never gonna get a chance in your. Life is like, it's like this.
Correct.
Do the stuff. Do it. Just do it, because it
And
makes
I
you
mean-
happy, man. It makes you happy.
Precisely. I mean, Gino, we've been out of school 30 years now.
Yeah.
And time goes by so quickly. 30 years. I mean, I can remember matric. It feels like it was yesterday.
Absolutely.
Um,
I do as well. All right, so last couple of questions then. We're going to go for the either ors. I think we'll do some either ors to finish it off. Let's have a quiz. Ta-da! Quick either ors. New phone or new clothes?
New phone.
New phone. Okay, here's an interesting one for you. Form or function?
Function.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't like the way your Tesla looks?
Uh,
I mean, like the Roadster's got, it's not that much different in function to the Tesla X model.
the function is speed. Just remember that.
Yeah, that's also speed, I suppose. Okay, I'll give it to you. Save or spend?
Spend.
Spend. Oh, that just goes against every bit of your fiber, according to Dylan. Beer or wine?
One.
Okay, nice. Let's see. Money or fame?
I would say money.
Yeah. Good. Pop or rock?
Rock.
Yo, I'm with you. International vacation or a new TV?
Vacation.
For sure. Perfect teeth or perfect hair? And if you have one, then the other one's terrible.
Oh, no, definitely perfect teeth.
Perfect teeth and disgusting hair. Okay. You look like a monk. But you've got good teeth. All right. Antique or brand new?
Brand new. Brand new.
Okay. No, I get it. Charming or charming or genuine?
Genuine.
Charming. It's not genuine. It's not genuine. It's not charming. It does put it against each other. Skydiving or bungee jumping, or neither.
I think I'd rather take the skydiving.
Okay. You're gonna do it in a costume very soon. You're gonna do it in your Borat costume very soon. So you better be talking about that.
Yeah.
Meat or veggies?
What's better for me is the veggies, but I enjoy the meat.
Yeah, you see. So it's meat actually. There we
Yeah.
go. Married or live-in relationship?
Married.
You better say that because you are. Your wife's watching, no doubt. Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Excellent. Painfully aware or blissfully ignorant?
The latter.
Blissfully ignorant. It's fine. Everything is fine. I'm probably with you. As well. All right. City or countryside?
Countryside.
Excellent. iPhone or Samsung?
Definitely Samsung.
Android. Oh, excellent. Okay. Let's see. False hope or no hope at all?
false hope, I think, because then there is some hope.
And it'll take it. There'll be a kink in the road, and it'll happen. It'll happen. Oh, Greg, thank you so much for coming aboard, man. It's been fantastic fun. I think I see there's a couple of comments. It's Jandre saying Dylan gave him the scars. I see there as well.
Yeah, no, listen, there's too many comments there from Dylan and JJ.
Oh, it was all good fun. But thank you so much, Greg. We're going to do the competition now. So I'm going to do a little song. You can go backstage, and we're going to do the drum cam. Thank you so much for joining us, Greg. It's been absolutely fantastic. I love what you're doing, and I love the entrepreneurial spirit. This is what we need in this town, and you're doing amazing things for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, Gino, and thanks for the invite. Much appreciated.
It's a pleasure. Okay, we're going to do the compo now. You can wait backstage. So those of you who are left on board, I'm going to do a song. I need the name of the artist, and I need the name of the song in the comments, and then you can win some Fitch and Leads. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to send it to you if you do it. All right, so in we go to the drum cam. This is my science outfit. All right, we're ready. I was enjoying that. Oh, Denzel Hewitt, you're the winner. We're going to send you some Fitch and Leads. Well done. That's indeed you too. In the name of love. It's called Pride. In the name of love, we'll give it to you. It's in the brackets, I think. Pride. All right. So enjoy the shuffle. It's been fantastic. I've loved this, and I love the solar. And Greg Blandford, you've been an absolute legend. Thank you for joining us as well. Thank you to Fitch and Leads, and thank you to and of course to Amovia for our lightning fast internet. And then we'll see you on Saturday. So it's Friday. We've got a Friday show today. We're going to rebroadcast it in the normal Saturday, because Saturday is, of course, the rugby. The rugby is on Saturday, so we're going to rebroadcast on Saturday. But we've got Friday night with Jenny Golds. Don't miss out. 6:30 Friday night, we're going to do the live. And then we're going to rebroadcast for those of you who missed that. So nobody will miss out, but we're just going to do it on Friday as well. So remember to go to YouTube and click subscribe. Subscribe on YouTube. It's much better than Facebook. It's much better. Much better. See you on Friday.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Have a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.